I think it has something to do with comfort. Sam helped him, so he might feel comfort. And I think it's better if you take it against the Helma producer, and then depending on how Helma reacts, Mark we will see a reaction of Mark in how he reacts.
Okay. We have, first of all, Sam's conflict, yes? Okay. Does anybody want to give anybody any fan mail for any reason from the audience?
Yeah, how many are? Yeah, Sam can get one from me to get rid of Mark.
Yeah, Sam gets one from me too, because I really want her to succeed and be angry at Mark.
Okay.
Really mess him up.
That's a
Mark really is an annoyance today. He's working hard at it.
Mark is actually trying to be honest and connected with other people. This is actually very painful. Okay, so
he has a very good
I'm feeling for our neuroatypical fellow here, you know. So
don't tell him me too.
Yeah, and so then we have, in that case, we have Helma's just with a 1. And then whatever trait that she wants to use, if there is, clearly it's going to be right. Yes. And then we have me with my 1 card, and just because I am evil, I think that I'm going to put in 4 budget.
You gave her 1 fan mail from the audience pool from me, right?
I did. Yes.
And I got 1 from the audience pool via Sandra.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to spend those 2.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So I have at least 4.
You have 4 cards now against my 5. Okay.
Mark has...
Or maybe, wait. Maybe I should think strategic and tactical.
Okay.
Maybe I should...
Go ahead.
I only use 1.
Okay.
And I rule it immediately.
Yes. Okay. Now, let's see.
Probably.
Yes. And let's see. So Mark is not in this conflict at this time. This is just Emma against me. Okay. Are we ready?
Wait, what are the stakes? If you are in here, what are...
My understanding is that you want him to go away. And that if he, perhaps even politely, who knows, that's the narrator's job. And then we have the other possibility, which is that if you fail, then I won't over-narrate it at the moment, but for whatever reason, it is socially impossible to get rid of him.
Got it.
Right.
Right there.
Yeah. And I have not looked at these, so you will see them. 3.
3 out of 5.
Yeah. And then over here, you have in your own cards just nothing. And nothing.
Wow.
Okay. And so I believe, let's look at the cards. The high card belongs to Helma.
You.
No. All of my cards are low. You have the Jack.
Oh, Jack.
So you get to narrate how this goes.
So how do you not get rid of Mark?
I'm looking forward to this. Everybody be quiet. Let's see what Helma says.
So, as it obviously doesn't help that I ignore him and he starts talking. I mean, he has a kind of this way that you really feel sorry for him. So I'd assume that when I try to get rid of him, that Kara would give me a look that signals that's not like you.
Right.
At which moment I'm just going to hold and give in and tell him, okay, stay. What's the problem?
Right. Excellent. And so the 3 of you are continuing to be there. Now, technically, we could close this scene after a conflict and have another scene And if somebody wants to return to this situation, all they have to do is say so. That's all they have to do, is when it's their turn, they just come back to this exact moment.
You get from the one from the audience pool each from me.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see. You can give, hold on. You can give one per conflict, I think, right? But I don't know if
Per
you can,
player.
well,
Per player.
per player to give
Maybe.
or player to get.
Because both these were actually two conflicts, right?
Well, no, it was one.
No,
With one conflict.
it's one.
We were thinking about another conflict depending on what Helma did to Mark. So there's only one conflict right now. So,
but I'm not. I can give anyone anything. It doesn't have to be a conflict, right? It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to have anything to do with the specific conflict. I just think that Mark has a nice hair, and then I can give him something.
That's right. You don't have to explain.
Yeah.
Can you wait just a moment?
Hmm?
Any time during an episode, any player except the producer. No. At most, each player can award 1 point of fan mail per scene.
Per scene.
And this is one
I
scene.
have to decide.
Right.
No.
Yeah, you have to choose whether it's me or Mark.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to Sam. She would.
I will give it to Sam, but strategically, it would be better to give it to Mark because he needs it. But then Sam can give it to Mark, or
Yeah, that's right.
so
Okay.
yeah, too much.
Okay, let's stop just for a moment and breathe a little bit and say technically that is the end of that scene, although we may extend the scene with someone else later if they want, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
For now, there are 3 people around the table that's meant for 2.
Right. And also, what we need to know is about framing scenes and situations. I think everybody can do it except for Helma and me. So whoever wants to should do one.
Well, I would need to speak with Keith about everything that has happened with Gregory and all of that. So I guess I will be locked in the lab with him.
Can you tell me a little bit more about this? Are you going to try to make this a secure conversation? Are you going to try to... What will you do? You say locked in the lab. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we can speak in private, so no one just barks in, and he will update me about things with Sam and Mark and what he knows about that, and just and what I know about Gregory and their plans.
Well,
about
we will discover more about the exact dialogue when we play it. But, but I get the idea. Can I give a little bit more description of what I see about this, and that you may decide to do it differently? Okay. So the first thing is that the two of you have gone into a part of the laboratory where you have to wear protective clothing. And that includes, it's not completely sealed, but it is, you do have to put on this kind of
hazmat suit.
Well, kind of a hazmat suit, yeah. And then the thing over your head is almost like a plastic bucket, flat on the top, right? And you like that, it's clear. And what Keith does when you want to talk about this, you guys begin to work in there, but he leans his helmet so that it touches yours, so the two of you can communicate across that without, and you can turn off the little microphones that you were supposed to use to talk with these things on.
Okay.
Right? So that way it's completely, nobody can hear you except the two of you.
Yeah.
And so
I like it.
So yes, the two of you are in there, and you're not really doing any real work. I mean, right?
No.
Okay. So that is so. What do you tell him? I mean, what do we see or hear when you begin? When we look at you?
Well, I will tell him that these people, when I was speaking with Gerard, that they came in very violently and they abducted Gerard when he was trying to keep them from taking me, even though I went willingly, and all the way up to when I spoke to Gregory about them taking over and about this location and the secret lab that I've told Keith about previously, and that I'm not really sure by what Gregory and his team means by taking over, but this seems to be the best opportunity to stop whatever is going on. And I tell Keith that I found out from Gregory that supposedly he is saying that there are some some sign of life, and they're trying to use these things as weapons.
He gets very quiet. He says, "This is way past anything I want to be involved in, and especially because I've already been. Well, let me just show you." So he goes to a particular scientific closet or cupboard somewhere with lots of places to contain things that you can slide drawers in and out and open little doors and look inside and close them. Something that's a little bit high-tech looking in this area. And he pulls it out and he says, "Look, maybe you'll get a better idea of what kinds of things you are messing with. We have to figure out a way to get you out of this situation." Says, "These people are really dangerous. This is my ticket out of this job, out of this life." And he says, "I had a choice of whose DNA I would use to combine with it. I hope it's okay. I thought it would be kind of egotistic to choose mine." So basically what is here in this little nutrient bath is a developing organism. It's too small to make out what shape it has or anything like that, but it is alive and it is growing. He says it started to undergo development. The genes are compatible. It started to undergo development 2 days ago. And he says, "Listen, if we can claim this as our discovery, they can't cover it up or anything. I can talk to our supervisors and we can make this a big success for our department. You and I can get out of this. We can maybe get real degrees, maybe get on into a university or something and get out of this life. But how did you get involved with those crazies? I was told your friends to get you out of there, away from those people. There's all kinds of bioterrorist little clubs and little groups all over the place. This is the one thing they always dream of: alien DNA. We have it, you and me. Not them. Quick, let's get the supervisor in here. We have to decide who we can trust the most. Who can we contact to get us this, and they don't just take it away from us.